But Shehzad, Poonawalla, let's go one by one. Dynastic politics. You have over 46 dynasts in your own party. So what does the Prime Minister mean when the Prime Minister says that you have to fight dynastic politics to save democracy? Look into your own house.
Okay. First of all, Preeti, as a responsible opposition in Rajasthan, I posed questions about Rajasthan, which my dear friend completely skipped answering about the unemployment. But having said that, let me explain dynastic politics. I left that party because of this issue. The topmost post in the BJP or the Prime Minister's post is not reserved for any one family. Yes, if you have talent, you can rise in this party. In the last 25 years, how many Congress presidents, apart from Rahul and Sonia, has the Congress party had, or Samajwadi Party, or JDS, or RJD? And look at the BJP. In the last 25 years or 30 years, we've had 11 presidents, none of them son of anybody, none of them father of anybody. But having said that, let me tell you what we've achieved in the last 7-8 years. We are the fastest growing, largest economy in the world. Even the IMF, even the economists is forced to accept that. In the last 8 years, we have had the highest foreign exchange reserves. They left it at $250 billion. It's past $600 billion, about $593 billion right now. We have had the highest foreign direct inflow today, $83.57 billion. That has come today. And as far as petrol prices are concerned, my dear friend Rohan Gupta would know that in the last 7 years, from 2014 to 21, the petrol prices have risen because of the war in Ukraine, Russia, but that has risen by 36% during their tenure, 2007 to 14, 60% rise. Between 2000 and 2007, 70% rise. Between 1986 to 1993, 125% rise. What phase does he speak with? As far as price rise is concerned, average inflation during UPA tenure was 9%, 9.5%, 10%, or almost 9 times in 2012 to 14. Today it's 6.5 to 7.5%. Yes, it has gone up, but this is also happening in America, where it's highest in 40 years, in UK, where it is highest in the last 20-25 years, highest in European Union. But having said that, it is still lower than what the Anil Shastri Manmohan Singh gave us. But I still ask my dear friend Rohan Gupta, why are the petrol prices in Mumbai 120 rupees when it's 105 in Lucknow? And why is the unemployment rate in Rajasthan over 20% for the last 1 year? Please answer those questions. You're in power there.
All right, okay. But Shehzad, I'll come back to you. But the question is, you talk about democracy, you talk about one family making all decisions where Congress is concerned. Understandable, plausible, fair point. But when you're talking about democracy, when were the elections in your party for party president? When was a democratically elected president elected, where the BJP is concerned as party president? I'll come back to you, but I want to bring in Rohan Gupta back to respond to the charges that you have laid. Rohan Gupta,
can I answer that?
I'll come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you. Rohan Gupta, the fact is, when we talk about dynastic politics, and a fair point raised by Shehzad, it's not one family, no. It's not one family which will decide. Where you, even in your Chintan Shivar, rules are bent for one particular family when it comes to dynastic families and one family, one ticket.
Absolutely not, Preeti. When you talk about dynastic politics, you tell me, when was Gandhi family in power last? It was when Rajiv ji was Prime Minister. After that, when UPA got elected, Sonia ji never become Prime Minister, right? And if you see, Gandhi family has come to Congress party when it was required by workers. When Sitaram Kesi ji was there, Congress was on bad situation. Sonia ji came, we were in power only in 2 states then. She revamped the party. She worked hard. In 2004, it was very easy for her to become Prime Minister. She never chose to become Prime Minister. You tell me now, this Prime Minister ji has passed the age of Margdarshan Mandal. Still he is there. You tell me who is number 2. So here it's not about dynastic politics. It's not about the power politics. They are there to serve the party. Even today, even in Chintan Shivir, they spoke about the people. For them, power is not important. And my friend was talking about petrol and diesel prices. Let me challenge you. You have looted 25 lakh crores in last 6 years. If you reduce the excise duty, just reduce the excise duty which is increased by you, country can get petrol and diesel at 35 rupees less than what they are getting today. So don't fool the country. The excise rate, the VAT rates have not been increased by any state. It is just because you have increased the excise duties by more than 100%. This is the situation. You are fooling the country. As far as dynastic policy is concerned, this is the electoral issue. I have given 40 examples, and let me tell you, if their ideology is such strong, why they are taking people from Congress party who are having dynastic politics? Why? Because for them, power politics is important. You cannot bash on opposition, where wholesale price index, the inflation is at 30-year high, the unemployment is at highest. If you see other parameters, foreign exchange reserves, or rupee, or economy, everywhere we are faltering. And this is a challenging time. Rahul Gandhi ji has cautioned again and again
Okay.
to BJP that yes, please ensure that you don't go Sri Lanka way. But for that, that's not important. The way
Okay.
again, Preeti, they are
More
talking
than
about
dynastic
Ashrawan.
politics, power politics is important to you, Shehzad, is the charge. But I want to bring, and you need to, you said you wanted to answer on the point of when was there an election for your party president, do so. But the last moot point for a face-off, I'll just introduce it, which is who's trying to vitiate the atmosphere, Shehzad, because the Congress says it is the Bharatiya Janata Party that is trying to wedge a communal divide in the country.
First of all, it's very interesting that Rohan Gupta spoke about Sri Lanka. In fact, Sri Lanka's main crisis is threefold. One, the nepotism and dynastic politics. Rajapaksa's 40 members at one time were in the cabinet or in different parts of the government, and who practices that kind of dynastic and nepotistic politics is known to the people. Please, sir, do not interrupt. You're having a good conversation.
Please, yeah,
Secondly,
let's go one by
the
one.
freebie culture, which the Congress party and the Aam Aadmi party and several parties are responsible for. And by the way, Sri Lanka's debt, by the way, is about 6 lakh crores. Do you know which other states have a debt of 6 lakh crores? Tamil Nadu, 6.8 lakh crores. Maharashtra, 6.8 lakh crores. Tamil Nadu, about 6.6 lakh crores. West Bengal, 5.6 lakh crores. And Punjab, which you just left, is 3 lakh crores. So do please check what you have done to those states. Hopefully, those states will now be able to resolve some of their issues. But having said that, let me come to the issue of power politics and dynastic politics and who's vitiating. Preeti, in the last 6 months, have you seen what has happened in Rajasthan? Jodhpur, the home district of Ashok Gehlot, Karoli, Chhabra, Jhalawar, Tong, Bhilwara. Every second day there is communal violence in Rajasthan, and the Karoli main accused, Matloob Ahmed, has not been caught yet. The Chhabra main accused has been found in the iftar party of Ashok Gehlot. This is their track record on communal violence. They allow a free march to these rioters, but they take action on Hindu Navvarsh Ki Yatra and they put 144 on Kashmir files. This is their double standards. All they have is to raise nafrat against Hindus, to politicize issues like hijab. By the way, on hijab, the same order which is passed by the Karnataka High Court is actually in place in Maharashtra. In classrooms in Maharashtra, girls can't wear hijab. Aditya Thackeray came out and said that. They never once protested against that. They never once protested against the same arrangement in Kerala. But they were out there protesting against Karnataka and trying to vitiate the atmosphere. So this is the reality. As far as the elections are concerned, Preeti, there is a process in the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that process in the last 30 years has given 9 presidents. When presidents have not performed, they have been replaced and replaced by another president. But please tell me, Priyanka Vadra, day one she becomes General Secretary, loses Uttar Pradesh 1 seat out of 2, then she loses the Vidhan Sabha. The 5 state presidents are asked to resign. Where is the resignation of Priyanka Vadra?
All
this
right,
shows
fair
that
enough.
Parivar matters